Hello again. Today we're going to show you the proper steps to installing a nice stucco finish to a standard concrete block wall. We'll first install a brown coat, which will be approximately 3/8 inch in thickness. We'll let that set for approximately 7 days, then apply a nice colored finish. Since this newly built wall was built on the same property as the house, we'll need to match the texture and the color that was applied originally at the time of construction. As always, we need to protect areas like this concrete slab with plastic and tape. It's far easier to peel up the plastic and tape than to try to clean with a brush and water later. Besides, plastic is cheaper than the time you'll spend wasted in cleaning. The first step to preparing the wall for the brown coat is to apply a concrete adhesive over the surface of the block. This step is extremely important because the block is very smooth and leaves very little for the brown coat to stick to. Once the adhesive has been applied and still a little tacky, it's time to install the brown coat. The brown coat is applied in the same manner as it would be over a scratch coat. The ratio of cement to sand is 3 to 4 parts sand to 1 part plastic cement. Typically there are 10 shovels of plastic cement in a 94-pound bag. For the scratch and brown coats, I like to put 30 shovels of sand and 22 pints of water to 1 bag of cement. You'll need to mix this to a nice workable gel. Mix it too thick and it'll be too difficult to push on the wall. On the other hand, mix it too runny and it won't stay on the wall. You'll need to do a little experimenting to get it to a workable consistency. If you're able to rent or borrow a plaster mixer, not a cement mixer, then mixing of the plastic cement and sand will be less laborsome. It is possible to mix these 3 components in a wheelbarrow, but you'll need to be able to mix a half of a sack of plastic cement at a time. Use the derby to drag the cement around with upward, sideways, and diagonal motions to achieve as straight a wall as possible. We need to roughen up the surface with a neoprene hard float like this one and prepare it for the finish coat. When you're floating, you need to do it in kind of a circular motion, and you want to be sure you get all the areas floated out. Now that the brown coat's been completed, we'll let this set for approximately 7 days before we apply the stucco finish. Well, our 7 days have passed and now it's time to install the integral colored stucco finish. Since this is a skip trowel finish we have on the existing house, we'll need to match it as close as possible. We were very fortunate that the owner knew the exact color used at the time of construction, so finding the color on this one won't be an issue. You'll need to remask the concrete slab once again like we did for the brown coat, and remember that it's cheaper to use tape and plastic than the time it takes for cleanup. Now that the color's been mixed and ready for application, all we need is just a little more prep work. The first thing I like to do is wet the wall with water and watch how long it takes to absorb into the stucco. If it only takes about 60 seconds for the sheen from the moisture to disappear, we'll need to spray more water to the wall. When you get to the point where it takes about 5 minutes for the sheen to disappear, then the wall is ready for the stucco application. The purpose for this procedure is to ensure that the stucco finish has a proper hydration time. Without proper hydration time, the finish coat will become weakened. And just remember that it's better to wet the wall prior to the finish coat rather than after it's installed, because you could risk the chance of bleaching out some of the color. The stucco color coat is comprised of 3 components: 1 part Portland cement, 2 parts hydrated lime, and 3 parts sand. A skip trowel finish is done in 2 stages. First, we spread a smooth coat over the entire surface. When the smooth coat has slightly hardened, it's time to apply the second coat, which creates the texture. Just a little stucco to the side of your trowel, and with a light scan over the first coat, the stucco skips over and creates the skip trowel texture. And always remember to wear safety glasses. When working with stucco, it's a good idea. So in this case, it's sunglasses, doesn't matter. Anything to protect your eyes is good. It'll take a little practice to get used to the method of texture, but in time you'll get the hang of it. Periodically look over your shoulder at the house to see if your texture matches what was originally done. Well, there you have it, a perfect color and a perfect texture match to the existing house. And that does it for this segment of stucco on block walls.